Hello, my name is Aminata. I live in the capital of Burkina Faso, Ouagadougou. I live with my mother and father and my little brother. Ouagadougou isn't the safest place to live. There is a high terrorism and crime rate. The terrorism index in my country is 8.27 average. It ranks as one of the highest rates of terrorism out of all the countries. It is also one of the poorest and most poverty-stricken countries. Its biggest issue is that human rights are being taken away. In Burkina Faso, unlawful killings by the government and acts of terrorism are the reason for its crisis and deterioration of human rights. This has driven over 350,000 kids to drop out of school due to safety concerns. It has one of the highest rates of attacks on education. My family and I live in a traditional house in Burkina Faso. It is made of wood, straw, soil, mud, and large stones and bricks. My country is very poor, but I am lucky that the primary schools here are free to make education more accessible. My country has also made efforts to improve the healthcare system. However, because of the groups of terrorists attacking schools, it was unsafe for me to go back, and like a lot of other kids, I had to drop out of school. My family and I rely on agriculture to get by, since farming is one of the most common jobs in my country. 50% of the 21.5 million population has chronic food deficiency. My favorite food, risgras, is a simple food to make and commonly made by farmers in my country. We often go hungry due to the climate disasters taking resources for food and conflict. The conflict is usually driven through the trafficking and distribution of weapons and ammunition. Agriculture is one of the main industries in Burkina Faso. The most predominant industries, however, are gold and cotton. Burkina Faso is one of the biggest cotton industries in Africa. In my country, the clothing is made from simple material, and a lot of the clothes are made from cotton. We also often wear face paints and different types of accessories. Our values of art and performance include detailed masks, and music style uses percussion and balafon bands. An example is the popular band Farafina. There are many nice landmarks such as Bobo Dioulasso Grand Mosque, Ouagadougou Cathedral, and Royal Palace of Tiabele. There are multiple languages that are spoken here, such as Muslim languages which are Dioula and more. 30% of our population is Muslim, but the main language spoken here is French. Before this, our country was part of a kingdom known as the Mossi Kingdoms. We were occupied by the Mossi Kingdom from 1530 until 1896 when the French colonized us. We gained independence in 1960 and were known as the Republic of the Upper Volta. On August 4, 1984, President Thomas Sankara changed the name from Upper Volta to Burkina Faso. We officially became a country on December 11, 1958. In Burkina Faso, the climate is very dry. A big problem is the diseases and drought. There are illnesses such as malaria, AIDS, and HIV. There is also a loss of resources due to climate disasters, overcutting wood, and overgrazing pastures. However, there aren't really any ethnical or religious tensions here. My country's main issue is that human rights are drastically deteriorating, but especially for me. Because I am a girl, I will be married to a man much older than me in a few years. This is because my human rights are being taken away by the government, who is also taking the lives of people unlawfully during the terrorist attacks. Not only is it unsafe for me to go to school, but I also don't have the say in what I want to do in my life or who I want to marry. Even my healthcare decisions I cannot make myself. Burkina Faso has a list of problems, and there still haven't been solutions to all of them. My basic human rights to healthcare and education are being denied. There is terrorism and violent acts committed by our own government. There is no security. It matters that we find a solution to stop the deterioration of human rights in Burkina Faso, and to help the people of my country be safe from attacks by terrorism and by the government. I can only hope the best for my country and my family.